Trailer time.
Trailer time. We're going to do a little trailer known as Wonder Woman. Are you ready?
Yes, the Wonder Woman 1984
I think I've set this all up. Are you? I haven't watched it. I'm excited.
It's I've seen it. It's very interesting.
Okay.
My life hasn't been what you probably think it has.
Looks like she has her penthouse finally.
We all have our struggles.
Poor thing.
Have you ever been in love?
A long, long time ago.
With me. She's talking about her.
Oh, yeah.
You?
What?
So many times. Yeah.
So many times.
All the time.
Oh. There's a promiscuous, isn't she?
By the way, this feels like Stranger Things.
It's because it's the 80s.
But no, like, it's kind of dark.
Welcome to the future.
Like the dress.
She's so pretty.
Oh, the mall. Is that the same mall?
But it can be better.
That might be the same mall.
Why shouldn't it be?
The Demigorgon.
Oh, wow.
She's fighting the Demigorgon.
All you need is to want it.
There's Maxwell Lord, our first look.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even catch that.
Who is Pedro Pascal, the Mandalorian, by the way.
Fun facts.
Think
Imagine if he
about
was like
finally
Maxwell
having
Lord.
everything you always wanted.
Kristen Wiig is going to be the cheetah.
I can save today.
Right? That's what I was thinking.
But you can save the world.
I mean, they told us before. Steve. What? Lazarus Pit. That's the only experience.
That's what I
Lazarus
said.
Pit. They brought it back. What is that?
Maxwell Lord.
I take what I want.
Isn't Maxwell Lord like immortal?
No.
Everyone will see.
We'll talk about that. I'm liking it. He looks good.
Pedro looks really good as like a really rich white guy.
Oh.
That's cool.
Oh, that might have made just the whole movie. You know that one scene?
The slow-mos.
Yeah.
Now, I wonder which cheetah that Kristen Wiig is going to play.
Needs you.
I'm thinking.
Oh, she just destroyed Trump's wall.
You know what you need to do.
Why is he back? I don't know. Oh, yeah. Okay.
I don't know what she lashed her lasso to.
Oh, I guess training. I love training montages.
That looks like a past one.
You gotta have it, yes. Okay.
And greatness is not what you think.
I still have no idea what's happening.
But that might be the point.
I guess. She caught a lightning? She's swinging on lightning? Alright, that's fucking dope. Oh, yeah, we get it. You did the whole cross thing. I'm
Let's go to the swing on the lightning thing.
Let's go back to the lightning. I'm rewinding. Sorry.
So, I like this shot.
All right, wait. Oh. I can control now. Awesome.
But that shot, so right after this one.
Right after this.
Which I think this is like a past montage.
Yeah, that has to be training.
So she's kicking ass.
This
shot where she kind of flies over.
Okay.
And greatness is...
And this.
Okay.
So
Looking
when
at
you
it.
have characters like Wonder Woman and Superman and Thor, the trick is you have to make them seem like so much stronger than normal fragile human beings. You have to make them look godly. They finally got it like almost perfectly down in Thor Ragnarok where he's like, holy shit, like he is a god.
You think this does that?
I think this is going to be the start of that because...
The start.
Yeah,
Okay.
in the first one, you could tell she's more godly, but it's way more like because it's a timepiece, and a lot of these movies are timepieces. She's in the trenches with the war, like you see her when she takes off the cloak and she's going,
And she's learning how to be a goddess.
exactly like not only that, she's learning how to like deal with mortal man more,
Yeah.
and she's kind of just like walking through, and you see that like beautiful blinding light, and her costume is the color that kind of brings the color out of that movie.
So with these gods, we need to see these feats of strength.
I need to see these like epic feats, and I love this shot because she's airborne, which she can fly, by the way, in the comic. So I don't know if they're going to do that here where she can actually fly.
They might be starting to do that.
But also the look Chris Pine is like, oh crap, like that look of like, yeah, that's a god. That's what you need to see with these movies.
All right.
It's not what you think.
Like that.
Oh my god. Yeah, I can see that. That feels godlike.
Yeah.
All right.
And then this is very godlike.
That's amazing. She rides the thunder. She's pretty much
So
handing
is
her
Zeus
a
going to
number.
be in this?
Oh.
Because again,
That's
Greek
why?
mythology.
I thought she was just trying to hit up Thor. No.
Also, she has wings.
Well, that's like the Valkyrie armor they have, right?
Kind of.
Very 80s music. Oh,
It's all art.
tell me she dances.
The joke.
That's just a trash can.
It's just a trash can. Yeah.
Kind of like, so is there a time loop? Do the gods maybe bring
Him back
because they need him for something?
That could be the case.
Like, or they need to give her some type of incentive to kind of,
to move forward.
Maybe.
They brought him back. Maybe Hades brought her back. brought him back because
Hades would be awesome.
he controls the underworld.
That'd be cool.
I mean, we have no idea what the story with this is, right? It has to be Greek god related. We saw Zeus. Maybe Zeus and Hades are going at it with each other, but like, why?
So like,
Hades?
for me,
there has to be a reason it's in the 80s.
Yeah,
you know.
No, of course I believe, and Maxwell Lord's that reason, right? Like,
tell people who he is.
So Maxwell Lord, for those of you who may or may not know, he is like the Lex Luthor of the Wonder Woman kind of saga, but he's way more into like his own inventions. He's not into like, I have to kill this person, I have to kill this person. He's becomes evil through business. Like, he's a natural like business tycoon who is just evil because he's greedy.
Yes.
And the superheroes kind of mess up his stuff, so then he's like, screw you, I'm gonna go after you, so you don't mess with my stuff. Wonder Woman actually kills him in the comics. He actually forces her to kill him as like the only way to stop him, and she actually does it.
Does Maxwell Lord make the robots that can steal the powers, or am I thinking of somebody else?
I think you're thinking of somebody else.
Okay, sorry.
But Maxwell Lord has a huge role in like Final Crisis.
Yes, he does.
He's throughout all the Wonder Woman books. He shows up here and there. He works a lot of times. He works with Argus. He works with like Amanda Waller and all these other stuff, like companies in the background.
I think people are back there are gonna be like, all right, cool. This is a wannabe Lex Luthor that gets killed by Wonder Woman. What's one of like, we were talking about like feats of strength. What's one of his feats of villainy? So like, what's something that like, all right, this is why he's an issue. Like he done. Blah.
He basically took down the entire Justice League by himself through manipulation and just intelligence.
Yes.
And thus forced Wonder Woman to kill him in order to save. Like, he basically was like, unless you kill me, this is never going to stop. And she was like, fine, and kills him.
Yeah.
So he basically brought Wonder Woman down to that like level we usually see with like a Batman character or a Daredevil, where it's like you're making this ultimate choice that's going to affect you, but for a god. Like, he took a god
and brought her down to her knees.
Exactly.
With the way of humanity, not because like he's strong and they fought, like just because of the extenuating circumstances that he surround her with.
So that to me is the biggest feat of him.
Yes.
Because in his death he took down Wonder Woman.
He made Wonder Woman essentially mortal.
Exactly.
Without making her mortal. Like make her to succumb to mortal temptation.
Yeah, and morality and everything else that goes with it. But
so this movie to me, I'm gonna watch it because I do the podcast, right? I love this kind of stuff. I'm interested in it.
We're gonna review it.
The fact that I saw her riding the lightning,
that was awesome.
Sold me the movie.
Yeah. That gold suit's pretty badass.
The gold suit's pretty cool. I want to see more, and I know this is like that first trailer. You're not going to see a lot. Like I really want to see Cheetah so bad. I want her to fight Cheetah. Like, and then in the comics, like Cheetah like was once her friend. They were back on Themyscira, and then she gets essentially corrupted. And turns into this by a curse, right? So like I want to see that unfold. Like, all right, Wonder Woman let her down her friend, and that essentially created an enemy, and she's dealing with that the whole time. Maxwell Lord is putting his plan in motion. I think it'll be a pretty good movie. I think DC's starting to be on the upswing. I feel like this movie I'm afraid that this movie might ruin the momentum they build up.
So I understand what you're saying, and I'm also very kind of cautious about this movie. I live with the biggest Wonder Woman fan on the planet. And
the dog?
Yes, the dog. My dog is a huge Wonder Woman. No, but
he's got a tattoo of her on the belly.
We give him haircuts with the logo. Erica's a huge Wonder Woman fan, and she was very excited that they're finally making a Wonder Woman movie. And she came out of the first one like they could have done a lot better.
Yeah, of course. Have you seen the meme online where she has the sword in the back at the party, and they're like, "Where does this sword go down between the butt cheeks?" Yeah, that's funny. Sorry.
So, can't get you not thinking about butt cheeks for 5 minutes.
Well, I was thinking like, yeah, you can do better. But like, yeah, where does that sword go?
Yeah, but like the storylines for this movie, like we've talked about Wonder Woman a lot, and I think one of the advantages that this character has that no other character has really, even from Marvel, is Greek mythology. And I think they don't play into it as much as you honestly could play in that sandbox of Greek mythology. In this superhero world, where does, like, the question of when you have gods on Earth, where does actual religion come into play? Where does faith and like Christianity, old gods, like where does all of this come into play?
Marvel,
and they haven't really touched upon that.
Yeah, even in Marvel, like we know that there's gods and Norse mythology is real, and they still barely touch on it. And I feel like
besides Odin and Loki and Thor, you don't really see any of the 9 realm major gods.
No, I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking with like the human relation to them. Like there's not really that acknowledgement. Like in comics and in like the animated cartoon shows, they kind of talk about it, right? So like DC can be in that position where they can start making this more known and having like the universe question morality of like God and religion and stuff like that. Because DC definitely does a very good job, like bringing real life issues to heart. Yeah. So I don't know if they're going to necessarily do that in this movie, but it definitely sets them up.
I don't think they're going to do it in this movie either, but I think that would be kind of like an avenue of like, obviously you should be going this route because like, I get it. You're doing these timepieces. You're trying to show that she's been around for a very long time. Yeah. And that she's been around and doing these things kind of before an age of heroes has been announced or out in the open, and she's been doing this shit in secret. But again, if you're just kind of hitting the normal beats you already hit, like, again, I want to see Kristen Wiig as the Cheetah because I want to know why you chose Kristen Wiig over like a more serious actor. I want to know why you chose this comic actress to be your Cheetah more so than that. Like, show me why.
It has to be
prove to me why you did this, and prove to me that yes, you do know more than I do, and that you are making the correct decision in that. Because nothing I've seen so far has been like, obviously it's one trailer, but nothing I've seen has been like, yeah, this is the right choice.
Well, so far with this, like we know. Like before she becomes Cheetah, she's more mild-mannered, right?
Well, yeah, she's a doctor. She's a doctor.
So far, I'm believing that character story, right? Like, oh, it's a mild-mannered person. You know, she falls in love a lot.
Whether it's Barbara Minerva or the original.
Yeah, you can see like, all right, that like she obviously her choices in life maybe are not the best.
She's going to be
a little
like the quirky, awkward.
Yeah, she's quirky, frazzled. Like you can feel all that.
There's a touch of Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman in the beginning where she's kind of like the frazzled secretary.
Yeah.
Spilling the coffee all over the place. Like she's kind of like a klutz before she gets this power and becomes like this confident, like badass that controls the scene when she's on screen. So hopefully that could be what it is. But again, I need to see more to be like, yes, I'm behind you 100% on this. But I hope the movie's good. But to answer your question.
Go ahead.
I think this movie has, again, the first one made crazy money.
Yeah.
Even though it wasn't great. But the first one made a lot of money. I don't think they're worried about that. I think if we're worried about, like, we've been seeing a nice trajectory with DC movies. Obviously, Joker blew the top off of that.
Yes.
But I think the movie to be worried about isn't this movie. I think the movie to be worried about is Birds of Prey. I think Birds of Prey looks like garbage.
I think Birds of Prey...
I don't even know if I want to see it. Because I feel like it's going to upset me.
I think it's going to upset you.
I think it's one of those where I'm like, I'm going to go to the movie and be like, why did we just do Suicide Squad 1 all over again?
I think it's going to be Suicide Squad 1. Just kooky weirdness and its own flavor.
But not good?
I think it's going to be fine.
I don't
think it's going to be an issue because everybody is going to watch that movie knowing it's going to be weird. It's going to be funny. It's not going to be a serious movie. It's not going to. People already know that's going to be like the comedy movie.
Harley Quinn's in it.
Yeah, they know that's going to be like the comedy movie. Like if you related to.
But you could do that and make it good, and you can make it dark and you can make it good. But now that they're like, oh yeah, Jared Leto's Joker is in this, and
I thought he wasn't.
Apparently he is at least cameoing.
Yeah.
Which is already a terrible sign for me. And then it looks everything I've seen.
Maybe it's like memories.
Looks exactly the same as they did in Suicide Squad. Like nothing looks like they've updated. Again, can't judge a movie before you've seen it.
True.
But from what I'm seeing,
I thought that trailer was better than this trailer.
I thought the Wonder Woman trailer was way better.
Interesting.
Way better. Hands down better. Not even just the tone, just like I got to see her swing on lightning.
That's the coolest thing. That's cheating, but yeah.
I got to see her swing on lightning. I got to see her literally have that godlike moment where she's like almost like Jesus in the sky.
Training montage is very strong.
The slow-mo fighting stuff with anything lasso is awesome.
That bullet, when you pull the bullet.
And she basically slow-mo like that.
That was dirty.
That's awesome. Besides that, Gal Gadot was gorgeous.
I'm thinking those might be the big scenes. Like that might be the only like.
No, you're gonna let her fight and kick ass.
Yes, but like you know, like when you watch the first one, there's a handful of scenes that, you know, you go back to watch the movie for. I mean, I don't go back to watch it, but like you look at that, like that trench scene, and those are scenes we saw in the trailer, and that third act was garbage.
No, agreed.
So like, I'm afraid, like, we saw all these really cool scenes. I mean, like, you have to have something left in your chamber.
But in that thinking, that doesn't make sense based on Birds of Prey. Because if you're saying, I watched Wonder Woman, right? And it's an origin story. So you're going to get a lot of talking. You're going to get a lot of, hey, my name's Diana. This is where I come from. By the time you get to those fight scenes, and yes, the third act was terrible, you still have a bunch of those scenes that you could pinpoint and pull out and say, this is awesome. When Suicide Squad was hot garbage, comparing Birds of Prey to that, I'd still rather have this Wonder Woman movie than the Birds of Prey movie if Birds of Prey is going to be like Suicide.
I feel like for me, the reason I'm putting more weight on I know before we get to the next topic, but I put more weight on the Wonder Woman one.
We're talking. It's our podcast.
Before, put more weight on Wonder Woman than Suicide Squad or Birds of Prey, because I'm looking at Birds of Prey differently. Like, I know it's gonna be funny. I know it's gonna be silly.
Like
it's not
there's
gonna be
no
a serious
weight to
movie.
it. You're not like, this has to make a way for this character.
Correct.
Like, Wonder Woman has to be good because it's fucking Wonder Woman.
And Wonder Woman needs to be good for Wonder Woman's character.
And that she's the most famous female superhero of all time.
Yes.
Like, this should be good regardless.
Yes.
Agreed.
Harley Quinn and the Suicide Squad and Birds of Prey does not need to be good for that character to be good. Like, in Suicide Squad, whether you liked it or not, Harley Quinn was great in that movie.
I wouldn't say great. I said Harley was good. To me, and I don't understand this part, every actress who plays Harley gives her a New York accent. Every actress portraying Harley, except for like
And
Tara
voice
Strong,
acting and stuff
except
like
for
that,
Tara Strong's voice acting, which is bar none, gives her this like Brooklyn, New York accent.
I'm fine with it. I know you don't like it.
And it turns it into like not funny for me. It turns it into annoying because I'm from New York.
That's
like,
why. Yeah,
no,
I know.
it's not even that. It's like it just doesn't. It doesn't feel like Harley to me. It just feels like we don't know fully how to do this voice, so it's easier if we add this twang to it.
I like the twang.
But whether you like Margot Robbie or not, obviously she's going to be Harley Quinn. But to me, if I'm DC, I'm more worried about that movie messing up my trajectory, hands down, than Wonder Woman.
Interesting.
Because that's the movie where you're like still like this started being made before we kind of like Shazam and Aquaman kind of.
So was this?
This one?
Yeah, this one too was maybe like started in production before those.
Yeah, but it's based on like Wonder Woman was kind of like the foundation of, okay, this is a lot better than what we've seen. Because the only thing before Wonder Woman was the BVS and the Justice League stuff and what is it? Suicide Squad 1. So like,
I still like Suicide Squad.
It's garbage. So if you continue to go on from that, like that's kind of the start of the upward trajectory. But
I'll give you that.
Birds of Prey is going to be kind of like hey, this is our first movie of the year. 2020, February, Birds of Prey is out. This is setting the tone for DC for this year. That to me is like, that's a big shot in the dark.
I feel you.
Compared to like Wonder Woman, what comes out in the summer, which you're going to see, and it's also going to be taken over by every other summer movie, along with Black Widow, along with everything else that's coming out. So,
all right, guys, let us know down in the comments below what you thought of the Wonder Woman trailer. Are you on Team Chris like this? That you're more worried about a Birds of Prey than the Wonder Woman, or are you thinking more like me? Wonder Woman needs to be better for DC's trajectory. Let us know all your opinions down in the comments below.
I do think Wonder Woman needs to be better. I think this movie needs to be better than the first one.
Yeah.
I think we're all in agreement on that.
With that part, yes.
Yeah.
Or I was talking about like in the DC continuity. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it needs to be way better than Birds